Okay. I'm recording. This is our Team on the Run call for Tuesday, whatever the date is, the 26th, 27th, something like that, 27th. I'm still in summer mode because my kids are not back in school yet. So I'm like, don't know what day of the week it is or like anything. So I reached out to Cinthanie to ask her to speak on Instagram stories simply because she's amazing and her social media presence is kick-ass. And let's see, mute Amber. There we go. Her social media presence is really kick-ass, and she is worthwhile watching her stories on social media. And several of you on this call are also kicking ass, but several of us are struggling with knowing, how do I put together content that is engaging and keeps people following me? And then eventually, like, your big goal is to increase your following and then have people, convert to being customers or coaches. So there's so much we can learn. And I feel like an old lady, I'm not going to lie, when it comes to Instagram. I have so much to learn from you millennials who are like badass on your social media. So I've got my notebook here and I'm ready to take some notes. So you guys don't probably even need an introduction for Cinthanie because you all know her, because Melissa is Amanda's coach and Amanda's my coach, and Melissa is Cynthanie's mother-in-law. So that's a tangled web of a family tree. But in Texas, she is married to her husband, Mick. Not Mick. Oh,
definitely not married to that one.
Not married. Okay, Melissa's married to Mick. You are married to Melissa's son. Sorry,
Tanner.
Tanner. And how long have you guys been married? Oh, that would be not okay.
So we have been married for 2 years, but we've been together since we were 17.
Yes. So I feel like you guys
are
newlyweds. She's a dog mama, and she is a host of the podcast, and I don't want to forget what it's called, so I'm going to look. Co-host of the podcast As Real As It Gets, which now I need to tune into. She has a 3-star diamond team, and she hosts, I'm going to remember this from our last call because I thought this was so ingenious, because her husband, not Mick, is a mechanic. She has an ongoing boot camp called The Body Shop. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. And since last time you talked to us, I have switched my groups to being ongoing because I just loved that. So I could just talk all day about how inspiring Cinthanie is. If you've ever heard her talk, she's got such positive energy and just such an inspiring message. And she's a great leader. And we want to hear about your social media and what you do on Instagram. And I'm going to stop talking because you don't want to hear me talk.
Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. You just gave me like the best life pep talk ever. Thank you. That means so much. It's really sweet of you. Okay, so I am going to just preface by saying that I'm a straight shooter. I say it like it is. I'm going to teach you tonight, not make you feel comfortable. So some of the things that I may share, don't take them personally. Take them as constructive criticism, okay? Because my goal is to help you be the best possible coach you can be. So I'm going to share with you my tips that I implement to try to be the best coach that I can be, right? So again, please don't take anything personally. If I say something and if you feel like it's a personal call out on you, one, don't take it personally. Like I said, two, just understand that this is how I teach my coaches to operate their business. And so I want to be able to share that with you as well. So I am going to, and like I said, I'm a straight shooter. I may swear. It is not to be like vulgar or anything. It's just, it happens. It's my vocabulary. So I'm going to share my screen with you. I have a couple slides, and I actually, if you have any questions during this, just shoot them in the chat. And then when I'm done with my slides, we'll just open it up for discussion. We'll just have a chit chat, okay? But if you have any questions that pop up during my little presentation, drop them in the chat. We'll go over them. So let me share my screen with you. I always have to see what page it's on before I share my screen. Okay, here we go. And click present. Okay, So welcome to Instagram Stories 101. So I am not a self-proclaimed Instagram expert by any means. People ask me all the time, like, how'd you grow your following? How did you do this? I have no freaking clue. I have just been incredibly consistent and throw whatever I can out there to see what works. So one thing that I will tell you is that there's anybody that's trying to sell you an ebook of how to create a better Instagram or whatever, like, it's complete BS. Nobody knows. We're all just blindly trying to figure it out and see what sticks. Don't waste your money. Just dig up your heels and be consistent, okay? All right, so the first slide, why stories. So I know that stories are kind of the hot thing, but I want you to understand why they even matter, or why they work, or why I have found that they work for me in my business. So if you think about it, our business is not a transaction business, it's a relationship business, right? And so I believe that Instagram stories really allows people to connect with you before you ever talk to them, because it's basically just a look into your life and how you go about your day-to-day and who you are and what makes you tick. And so really, like, that's the things that, like, if you're dating somebody, those are the questions you ask. Like, what do you do? Like, what kind of family do you come from? What do you like to, like, all the, questions you would ask if you're trying to build a relationship. It's literally the same thing with stories. People are finding out those things, what you do, what you like to do, where you come from, where you're going, all those things. It's literally a peek into your life, okay? So Instagram stories is a great way to connect with people. And I'm sure if you've been on calls before, you've heard people talk about making connections before sending them an invite, all that kind of stuff. Instagram stories is a huge part of connections for me, because really it's allowing me to connect with X amount of people that watch my stories versus me sending a message to X amount of those people every single day, right? So it's basically just like a bigger reach. So I want you to look at it this way. Your Instagram stories allow you to connect with people, okay? Your posts, I think they're still equally as important, because I know for me, when I go to an Instagram and look at the page and decide whether I'm going to follow or not, I always look at the page first. I probably scroll through like their first 15 to 20 posts that pop up, and then I click on their stories. But I won't click on their stories if the page doesn't sell me first. So it's kind of like the page is the jab, the stories is the jab, and then if their content's good is right hook, okay? If you've never heard Jab, Jab, Right Hook by Gary Vee, you need to. So really, I'm seeing my typos too, might be. So the stories, like I said, are kind of your connecting and your commercials, if you will, okay? But your posts are your billboards and your catalog, pretty much. So when people look at your page, they should, even though Instagram stories are called stories, I believe your page tells the story. Because when people look at your page, they should be able to see things about you. So for example, if you're to go look at my page right now, it literally says, you will be able to tell right away, I'm into fitness, I'm married, I'm a dog mom, and I love to travel. Like, those are things that you will get immediately, and that I live a very bright and vibrant life. My pictures show that, right? So that is kind of my catalog, or my billboard, if you will. But then my stories is really like, they're little, it's almost like a mini reality series, I don't know, but also the commercials for your business as well, okay? So now that you know and understand the difference, I hope you can understand why stories are so important, because they allow you to connect with people. Because not a lot of people really, if you don't put a call to action on a post, sometimes people don't really engage. But as we're stories and stuff, I feel like it's such an easier way for people to engage with you and not feel weird about it, you know? So we're such weird people, such creatures of weird habits when it comes to like social media. Like, people will message me and apologize and be like, hey, I'm really sorry that I'm messaging you. I'm like, don't feel bad about messaging me. Like, it's social media. We're supposed to be social, but people feel a huge disconnect on social media that we all just kind of view and move on with our day. We want to view and connect, right? So stories lets us do that. Okay. So I'm going to shoot you real straight right now, okay? And I hope that you're ready to hear it. So I want you to know that your best asset that you have in your business is you and what makes you unique. And with that being said, I want more for you than to do what every other coach does. If there was like there's like the memes that say like the starter pack for like basic white girls, or like okay, the starter pack for Beachbody coaches is the hip hop pose like this. And I can say it because I'm so guilty. So guilty. There's the hip hop pose in their workout clothes. You use Triller and you have some kind of weird name for your Energize. Go-Go Magic, Fart Juice, I don't know, whatever the freak you call it. But literally, I know you're laughing because you know it's true. It's true. It's true. There is a stereotypical basic coach, and I don't want that for you. I want you to be more than a basic coach. I want you to be yourself. So it is totally okay to get inspiration from other people. But for example, when I look at stories right now from coaches, all I see is Triller, that freaking video app. All I see is Triller. And guess what? Everybody looks the same doing it. I don't care how crazy your dance moves are or what song you used or what your background is, but everybody looks the same using it. It doesn't set you apart. It's really catchy, and that's why it has caught on. I personally used to dance in my videos and sing along and stuff like that because that's just, part of who I am. But I don't want you to do that because it's trendy. I want you to be true to you, okay? And set yourself apart. Because if there is somebody that is following you and 5 other coaches, and they see you and these 5 other coaches doing all the same things on your stories, using Triller, talking about your go-go juice, kissing your Shakeology cup, what is going to make them use you as their coach versus the other 5 people doing the exact same thing as you, okay? So set yourself apart. Am I frozen? No? Okay, cool, because you guys keep freezing. So I just want to make sure as long as you can hear me, cool. So here's my thing. Don't waste your time editing Triller videos. This is just my advice, because I sit here and think about how much time I used to spend editing my little video clips to put on my stories. And it was like 5 minutes of editing this 15-second clip to go on my stories. And that 5 minutes could have been spent having conversations with people or really doing something. Okay, so you want to think about your exchange, like your ratio of exchange of what you're doing. So if you're spending a ton of time to make a beautiful edited dance video or a beautiful edited lip sync video or whatever, you have to think, how much engagement do you get on those? Do you get, if you get a ton of engagement on those, people respond to them and love them, keep doing it then. Don't listen to me, do what works for you. But you have to think your exchange of time. Is it worth the 5 minutes to upload a 15-second clip? I personally click through that stuff. That's just me, okay? And all I can do is share my thoughts. But I want to know what sets you apart. So we all sell the same programs. We all have the same business module. We all share the same workout clips. Oops, I'm getting ahead of myself. Look away. Okay, so what makes you you? So what makes you unique, not just as a coach, but as you as a person in general? And why have you remained a coach? What is the reason that you've remained a coach? I don't want to know why you became a coach, because here's the thing. You became a coach, cool, for whatever reason, but you have remained a coach for a totally different reason, I promise you. So figure out, what is it that makes you unique? What's unique about you? What's unique about me, for example, is I'm a very straight shooter. And I was class clown growing up. I love to make people laugh. Like, that's my thing. I'm a very goofy, silly girl. That's just a weird quirk about me. I will make a joke out of anything that I possibly can to try to get people to laugh. So that's something that I know that sets me apart, is if I can make people laugh, I can connect with them. And so know that you are your best asset. It's not the fanciest font. It's not the best, trendiest video editing app. It's you, your personality, your qualities, your story. That's what makes you unique and is going to set you apart, okay? So why have you remained a coach? What are the reasons that you've remained a coach? Those are the things you need to be talking about in your stories and sharing, because obviously the things that have kept you here will bring your people in, right? So think about what sets you apart, and then start to post accordingly to that. Like, what are your quirks and funky things about you? I have a coach. She is my top coach, and she is a workhorse, and she is so incredibly consistent. She is so consistent. She shares the Shakeology fact every day on her stories. She shares her workouts every day on her stories. She is the perfect example of what a coach should be. But she's been struggling with her business lately because she hasn't been showing herself. She's just been doing stamp, repeat of all of, you know, business building behavior, sharing our products, showing that they work. But she hasn't been sharing her goofy, funny self that I know and have come to love over the past 3 years of working with her. So we've really been working on her being more true to herself in her stories in the past couple of weeks. And she's had a shit ton of engagement because people think she's hilarious and they get to see the quirky, silly side that I do as a friend of hers. So really, like, that's what you want to be able to showcase, is who you are around your friends, or who you are after a glass of wine or two. Like, that's what you need to share, is that part of you. Okay, so be unique, be yourself, step outside of the box, go against the current a little. I have rebel heart. I love to like do the exact opposite of what everybody else does, but like I said, you are the best asset in your business. So be true to you and what makes you unique. Okay, all right, so now we're going to get into like legit, here are some tips that I have about your content. And these are critiques that I give to my coaches when I go over their stories with them and stuff like that. Can you guys see the videos on the screen? Are they covering the words? No? Okay. I don't know what you can or cannot see, because I can see like the toolbar of your guys' video and it's covering some of the slides, and I want to be able to make sure that you guys can see it. Okay. So for example, with your workout clips, Joel Freeman gave me this tip in the Lift 4 test group, and it has stuck with me forever and it has not failed me. He told me, he was like, in order to get, you have to remember, you guys, your workouts, yes, are for business, but really they are for you to create results. And I know I get such a better workout when I'm not trying to mess around with my camera to make sure that I get a clip of that move or a video of me working out. So the best thing that Joel ever told me and I have stuck with is to do your workout full on. Do not record it. Do your workout full on. Then after your workout, this is going to save you so much time too. After your workout, pick 1 to 3 moves that you really liked from that workout. Record yourself doing them real quick and post those. Don't post your whole entire workout. Don't worry about filming your workout as it's happening. Give yourself that time to just get your workout in. Don't worry about your business. That your exercise is for you, okay? Results in your health and fitness journey are for you. Take that time to work on you, okay? Sweat it out. Like, my workouts are my church. That's where I go to deal with my shit. I don't want a video of me trying to video myself while I'm trying to deal with that. So, do your workout full on. Do it for you because you're deserving of that movement and that mental space for your body and yourself. And then afterwards, record just 1 to 3 real quick clicks of your favorite moves and then upload those. I would not suggest sharing more than 1 to 3 clips of your workout because nobody watches past it. I promise you, it's tried and true. I have like studied my Instagram stories, and you can look and see like when people click through, click forward, or they exit or whatever. 3 clips max of your workout. And I really suggest you like putting something of value on your clips to keep people there too. Because if you're just posting 3 clips of you working out, okay, cool, but why? Why are you sharing that? So say something about you have a goal to up your weight in this move, or this move was incredibly difficult for you when you started the program, but now it's getting more, you're getting stronger, so you're getting more confident in whatever, like.
Can you guys see her or hear her? Cinthanie?
She's frozen.
She's frozen. Okay. Cinthanie, you disappeared on us, sweetie. Oh.
I live in the boonies, so sometimes my Wi-Fi likes to just be like, I'm done for the day, so I apologize. Okay, let me see if I can pick back up where I was. Yes, okay. Oh, I need to share my screen again with you so you can see it. That would make sense, right? Here we go. All right. Okay. Can we see that? Are we good? Okay. So I was talking about workout clips. So add some kind of value because not everybody watches your stories with the sound on. And so if you can put little blurbs of what you're talking about in your clips or something to do, like I said, to add value to that clip other than just watching you, that's really, really important because not everybody watches your stories with the sound on, okay? I know mine for sure. A lot of people watch with the sound off because I swear a ton in my stories. That's just who I am. People choose to watch anyway. If they turn the sound off, cool, I get it, kids around. But me putting that little, blurb of what I'm talking about also is friendly for people that aren't listening. So once you post your workout clips though, I really recommend that you put a simple and direct call to action. And if you go watch my stories today, literally I realized everything that I'm telling you guys that I do daily, I failed to do today, but I promise this is what I typically do, but not today. So you have to be very simple and direct, but you need to put a call to action after your workout. Because if you're just sharing that you did your workout, okay, that's super great. But how does that apply to the people that are watching you? Why does that affect them? Why does it impact them to watch you work out? What's in it for them, right? So you need to put a simple and direct call to action immediately after you post your workout videos. So for me, I have a form in my bio under my little link tree that I send people to. I always say, if you would like to apply for the Body Shop, you can click on the link in my bio. I just recently got to a place where I have the swipe up option. So now I put it on the swipe up, but you guys, I can promise you right now, I have worked my business pre-swipe up option and currently with the swipe up option on Instagram, and it's no different. So if you think that people have an advantage, you don't. You just need to be very direct. So what I did before I had the swipe up option is, like I said, I have my forms to fill out for the Body Shop linked in my link tree in my bio on Instagram. And what I would do is I would literally take a screen record of me going to my profile, clicking on the Linktree link, then clicking on the form button on my Linktree and sharing that clip on my stories saying, go to my bio to fill out the link. You guys can't just say, DM me. It's got to be more direct than that, because here's the thing. A fitness journey is a very vulnerable process, and it's really hard for people to be like, hey, I want to lose weight. Can you help me? How often does that happen? Some people are brave enough and they're ready, but a lot of times it takes more direction or effort on your behalf first. So you can put the little box, the little question box, you can put, if you would like more information about my fitness boot camps or whatever you call your challenge groups, drop your favorite food emoji below in the box. Because then that's really simple. Instead of them having to say, instead of you telling them, send me a DM, how much easier is it to just drop an emoji than it is to reach out to somebody and be like, hey, I need help with my health and fitness, right? I would rather drop an emoji and then have you do the work until I'm comfortable. So think about how you can make it the easiest for them to connect with you on their health and fitness goals. So like I said, before I had the swipe up, I literally would post my workouts and then I'd put a call to action for them to apply to the Body Shop. And I would share a screen grab of me going to my profile, clicking on the link, clicking on the form, telling them that they're worthy of doing it, whatever. And I would do that after every single workout that I post. It is literally so important to put calls to action. If you're not putting calls to action in your stories, what are you doing? People are just tuning in to watch you, and that is super great. But the point of them tuning in to watch you is to convert them into business, right? Convert them into a customer or a coach. You want to help them change their life, not just them watch your life, right? Okay. So rules of engagement. Again, here are a couple more tips for you guys that are directly about the nuts and bolts of stories that I have found true to me and how I run my business. But talking on your stories, my personal rule of thumb, I am long-winded. I love to chat. But again, I've done my research, at least on my own following, and I've paid attention. If you talk more than 3 to 5 frames, typically people peace out. after 3 to 5 frames. So my suggestion, because you want to keep people on your stories as long as possible, as much as possible, right? So my suggestion is that talk maybe 3 to 5 frames. Anything more than that, you're going to need to do an IG live or an Instagram TV. Because one, obviously that's content that you're going to create anyway, so why not let it live on your page? And two, if you go live, it allows you to interact with them live, right? So if you're going to talk about something and it's going to take you more than 3 to 5 frames to talk about with your following, I would suggest doing it elsewhere than on your stories, because you want to keep them there, okay? And if you do an IG live or an IGTV about it or something like that, share it to your stories. Just like do a frame before you share the IGTV to your stories and just say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I really wanted to talk to you guys about body image today. And I went ahead and did it on IGTV. It's 5 minutes. You can click on it and take a look if you want to. Okay, so you can still share it into your stories that you did it, but let them make the decision of whether they want to go spend the 5 minutes watching you talk or just continue to click through. But even sharing it on your stories still shows that like these are topics or things that you care to talk about, and showing that you talk about them consistently, I think is really, really helpful as well. It's kind of building that catalog that I was talking about earlier. So hashtag and location. I don't know how much that this really impacts or not, but I do it anyway because I want as many eyes on my page as possible, as much as I can. I try to expand my reach as much as possible, especially because if I'm doing this every single day, I want it to go to as many people as I can. I want to maximize my efforts, right? So I always put hashtags in my stories and the location. I never put the location of my house. Like I always put Dallas, Texas, because that's much more broad than like Nevada, Texas, which is where like 500 people live. So I always put a hashtag and a location, but I just shrink it to where you can't see it. Like, you know how you can take the words and like pinch them together and make them really, really small. I do that, or I hide it behind the caption, just because I like my stories to look clean, and I feel like all these different things on there makes it look messy. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. But I like to just kind of hide them under words or like drag them down into the corner and shrink them. But then what happens is when you put a hashtag on there, that hashtagged story uploads to the stories using that hashtag. And then also it uploads to the stories of that location. So my workout posts go on Dallas, Texas stories every day. And then add value. This is a really important rule of thumb to have. I think that once you are one, personal development is such a huge help, you guys. Seriously, it really, really is. I was not who, I mean, I've always been who I am, but I wasn't always like willing to share who I am and my quirky self and like what makes me tick, because I just wasn't comfortable enough with it yet. So personal development has really helped me and allowed me to kind of be more myself and be able to, like, if you know me in real life, the way I talk to people on my stories is exactly how I'm going to talk to you in real life. Like legit, that I am consistent through and through. Okay. So, but it took me some getting used to talking on my camera. It took me some personal development. It took me some trial error, like whatever. The worst case scenario, if you upload something, you feel like it's dumb, you can delete it. Like there's not like nothing is, forever. So, but when it comes to uploading on your stories, if you don't know what kind of content to put up there, obviously, like, yes, you need to be sharing your workout and you need to be sharing about coaching and like you need to be shouting your business from the rooftops. Otherwise, you're just playing on social media and telling yourself it's business. I have done that. But when you post on your stories, some questions to ask yourself, is like, does this add value? Is this helpful? And do I have a point? So if you're just going on there to talk about like, today, the dog shit in the house, I was late to pick up the kids from school, husband isn't home from work yet, I don't have dinner on the table. Okay, fabulous, but like, where are you going with that? Why are you sharing that? So make sure that you're not just talking to talk and being like, okay, I need to upload stories because Cinthanie said I need to put stories. Like, no, have a point, have a purpose. I always ask myself again, does this add value? Is it helpful? And do I have a point? So if I were to share, my dog shit on the floor, whatever, blah, 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 but here's the silver lining. You always want to bring them back up. Whatever you share, you want to have some kind of a point to it and not just talking for the sake of talking and talking about your life, okay? So have a point, add value. Is it helpful? And I think if it's funny, that's helpful because it makes somebody smile or makes their day better or whatever, Okay, so that's all that I have on my slides, but let me look at the chat and see if we have any. Do you guys have any questions so far? Okay, so with your workout clips, how long music or no, talking or no? Okay, so I think the average clip on Instagram is 15 seconds, 30 seconds. I don't know. So I just do 3 clips of, it's 30 seconds or 15? 15? Yeah, okay. All I saw was Jessica going like this. I was like, okay, so then I do 45 seconds of my workout. I literally, when I go to record them, it's not fancy. I literally just go to my Instagram and I open it and click the hands-free option. So if you swipe to the hands-free option and hold your finger down on the hands-free option, it will give you a 3-second countdown for you to go run in place, pick up your weights, pump out whatever move you're gonna do for those 15 seconds. And then I just save it, do the next move, save that one, do the next move, save it. And then I sit down, put my words on it. If you wanna put music from Instagram, you can. Usually I have music on when I work out. So whatever song is playing in the background is just kind of usually what people get. Because here's the thing, I try to keep it as simple as possible because I used to really put a ton of effort into trying to make my stories super, super beautiful with beautiful fonts and video editing. I used to use Viva Video all the time to edit my stories. And while I was proud of my work, it literally did not change my engagement whatsoever. So why would I shell out so much time of my day to make a 15-second clip to put on my stories when it literally does not change my engagement whatsoever? It just doesn't make sense. So versus wanting to, like, if you want to scrapbook, go scrapbook. Don't use your Instagram stories as your scrapbook because I promise it's not going to change your business. What you have to offer as a person is what's going to impact your business, not what font you have or what music you have on your stories. But obviously share your personality. Like I almost always have some kind of NWA playing in the background. That is my lifting music, man. It's just, there's nothing like Dr. Dre or Eazy-E that just pumps you up to lift. I don't know what it is, man, but I always have that playing in the background. So don't be afraid to be you. But again, like I said, really your Instagram page, that's more so where you want to worry about color schemes and layout and that your words look nice and stuff, because again, that's like your catalog. But your stories, that's you being you. So let it be that way. I personally think simple is best. So what questions do you guys have, if any? And then you blare worship music, but that's true to you. Today I listened to country. It was something other than Cardi B or NWA, which is a shocker. But that's the thing, is like, that's true to you. And that's something that's a part of your brand. And so that's good. Like, let it be that way. People get to like connect with you in a different way, knowing like, oh, like she needed a little pick me up today. Like I'm like that too. Like people find validation in that. So don't be afraid to be you. You are the best asset you have. Seriously, I can't stress that enough. Any questions at all? Was this somewhat helpful? A little bit?
Tons. So helpful.
You can,
guys, do not be afraid to unmute yourself and ask any question.
Please. We can chit chat. What about product? What about it? You can unmute yourself. We can talk. I can't bite you through the screen, so.
I know Catherine's not shy. Girl.
Don't be shy, girl.
So what about product? We always hear about, don't, say energize or do energize, show the product or show the Shakeology. Or
it has a lag.
What are your thoughts about that?
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Did you hear my question or no?
No, I heard like, I was like, so please repeat.
You heard the Eazy-E? Okay. What do you think about, because, they tell us, don't show the product, don't show the Shakeology bag, don't show Energize, don't show this. How do you incorporate that into,
Yeah. So honestly, There are times that I share my Shakeology bag and there are times that I don't. It just depends, because here's the thing. I want people to know that I'm a Beachbody coach, because I have no shame in the fact that I'm a coach. I want them to know that I can help them, and I want them to know that I believe in our products. Now, do I think that people really do some freaking overkill with attraction marketing by calling their Energize their magic fart unicorn dust? Like, yes, I think that wouldn't make me want to buy it. I want to know that it's pre-workout and that it's going to help me work out, not that it's unicorn fairy dust. That doesn't explain what it does, you know? And so again, if you are somebody that does that, please know that I'm not knocking you. I used to, anything that I talked about tonight, I have done. Promise, I have tried and true everything that I've talked about tonight. I'm just sharing with you what has worked for me. Personally, I say it's my plant-based pre-workout. Like, I keep it very simple. Shakeology, it's my superfoods. Sometimes I say Shakeology, sometimes I don't. Obviously, like, yeah, you don't want to be a product pusher and like post all these pictures of you kissing your Shakeology bag and crap like that. But I don't want you to like worry about sharing what works for you. You know, I think that sometimes people overcomplicate it. So a balance of, if you don't want to call it Energize, just call it your plant-based pre-workout or just your pre-workout. That's a language that everybody speaks. They get what that means. Unicorn fart dust, not everybody's going to know what you're talking about. So speak in layman's terms. You have to think like, okay, so people don't know what Shakeology is. What can I call it? Like dense nutrition. I drink dense nutrition every single day. Superfoods. I feel like superfoods is I use that word, but I feel like it's kind of an overused word too. So you really have to just think about what it is. It's plant-based nutrients. You know, think about what you're using, and don't be afraid to say Shakeology every once in a while or whatever. But I think that sharing the products is great, but sharing what the products do for you is the best thing you can ever share. And so sharing why you drink your unicorn fart dust or why you drink your superfood Shakeology, you know, like why does that matter? Because to them, they don't care necessarily what it is, but why you use it. Because again, you're your biggest asset. People like you, they follow you, they engage with you, they want to know what you're up to. So if you watch influencers, like influencers, I think are really great people to watch in how they talk about products. There is this girl, I don't even remember her name. Her name doesn't even stick to me, but I follow her and she talks about crap that I don't need all the time, but I need it because the way that she talks about it as if we are BFFs at dinner and she just found her fave drink at Starbucks and I have to have it. Like whatever it is, she like was talking about a bamboo toothbrush the other day and I was like, holy shit, I need a bamboo toothbrush, I guess. Like because of the way that she talked about it so nonchalantly, just very like conversationally, because again, Instagram stories allows you to connect with people. It really, really does. And that's why I'm stressing, like, you don't need a lot of fluff. You need to be you, because that's how people connect with you. They want to be a part of your team and a part of what you're doing because it's you, not necessarily because it's Beachbody. So people will connect with you first and then fall in love with the community and the products once they get their hands on it and get into it. That was a super long-winded, I hope that, did that even answer your question or did I just like rant there? Okay. So cool. Okay. Anything else?
I have one quick question. How many like stories do you aim for each day? Like in a 24-hour period, do you like 15 to 20 or like, I know they want you to like kind of space it out is kind of the better solution. So you're always at the top.
You know what? I literally have zero plan when it comes to my stories or how many I post a day, because here's the thing. If you're telling yourself I can only post X amount of stories a day at only these times, and I need to try to stay in the newsfeed, and I need to do this, and I need to do that, and I need to not say Shakeology, but I need to say something cool. Like, holy crap, your stories are going to suck because it's not going to be you. It's going to be you on all these terms and conditions that you think you need to apply. That's not true to you. I have no limit or like number that I aim. I probably should do less stories in a day, but I don't. I just do like what comes naturally to me and what I feel like. So there may be a magical number of stories to post, but here's the thing. Engagement wins over how often you're posting. Engagement will always win, because here's the thing. If people engage with your stories and watch them consistently, you will always pop up, because Instagram's algorithm picks up on who they want to see. Who they want to see keeps them on the platform. So for me, I will always be on priority of one of the top 5 icons of the people that tune into my stories every day, because they consistently tune into it. So I think it's honestly more important to be yourself and connect with people that are like you than it is to worry about X amount of stories that you upload.
Okay.
If you do have I will say though, if your stories are like the thickness of a toothpick, you have too many. I will say that though, like,
I avoid those stories.
Yeah, nobody watches that. Nobody. So just like take a look. Take a look. If they're the thickness of a toothpick, you calm down. Or like, that's enough stories for the day. But really, engagement will win versus, a magical number any time. It's the same thing with posts. Like, if you put a post out there, it's at the prime peak hours that you think that you have on Instagram, but you get 2 comments versus a really, really riveting post that is specific to your type of people that gets 35 comments. I personally do not pay attention to amount of times, whatever crap, because it's always changing. Like, I feel like that is like a mythical thing to just chase and be distracted by forever. So I literally just put my head in the sand and focus on creating content that makes sense for me and who I am and who follows me, and go off of that versus magical numbers.
Gotcha.
Again, you are your best asset. Seriously, you are. What else?
How do you get content, not for your stories, but for your posts? I mean, sometimes I'm just like, what the hell else am I going to write about?
So I have days where I'm like super zen and feeling all the creative, inspired things to talk about. I sit down, write out posts until I run dry, until my little creative wheel shuts off. And I save those posts in just like the notepad on my phone. And then when I feel like posting, I'll put a picture that I feel like goes with that caption and slap it out there. So I don't typically like sit down and be like, what do I need to write today? But if I feel like it's maybe once or twice a week that I just feel like inspired and will sit down and write out like 4 or 5 captions. I don't post daily on my Instagram personally. I really focus on my story. I am daily on my stories. If I don't post on my stories by a certain time in the morning, people will message me and ask me if I'm okay. Like, they are counting on me showing up, as where my posts are like more of a sense of journaling almost, I feel like. But something that I think is really important to do is whenever I'm like really starving for content, like what could I freaking talk about today, is I think about what Cinthanie needed to hear pre-Beachbody. So like, what was something that I really needed to hear? Or on the days that I struggle, what's something that I really need to hear? Like, I had to do that today. I really didn't have anything to say, but I posted a picture and I just talked about how, like, don't let the world make you bitter. You are deserving of good things. Be open to abundance. Because that's something that I truly did not believe in 5 years ago. I really didn't believe in that kind of, like, I was good or deserving of good. And so that's something that's true to me and my kind of people that I want to help. So anytime you're struggling for content, just ask yourself, what did I need to hear pre-Beachbody? Or on the days that I struggle, what do I need to hear? Because that's the thing, like, see a need, fill a need. You are speaking to your type of people. Jessica, you're killing me. You are speaking and posting specifically to your type of people, not the masses, your kind of people. That's why I swear on my stories. I do not apologize about it either, because my people will get it and roll with it. And if you're offended by that, I have so much more where that came from that would probably scare the shit out of you. So it's better that we weed you out early. Like, I speak specifically to my kind of people, And so just think about, what do you need to hear on the days that you struggle? What did you need to hear pre-Beachbody? What have you needed to hear in your lowest lows? Like, those are the things, anytime I'm struggling for content, that's what I share, because obviously there's going to be somebody that needs to hear it. Good night, Courtney. Mwah. What else? Anything?
Cinthanie, how do you connect with your people?
I'll probably think of a million things after the conversation.
Well,
Okay.
That's usually how it works.
It's always how it works.
Yeah.
We'll message you. Don't worry. We'll message.
You know where to find me, y'all. You know where to find me.
Definitely.
Cinthanie, how
Jessica,
do you connect with your people?
You what?
How do you connect with your followers?
Okay, so I'm going to drop you guys. I think this is the right link. I did a team call for Melissa's teammate. I don't know how many of you get on her team calls or not, about literally start to finish how I close on somebody on Instagram. First message I send down to the very last one. That is it's an entirely separate like training. But I think, I think that's the link, pretty sure. But that will take you through literally exactly what I do. But how I find them to have that conversation, is that it, Jessica? Did you miss? Yes, I can hear myself. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody found it and it works. Okay, cool. So what I do to lead up to that, like the nuts and bolts of how I have a conversation, is like I said, I really focus on my stories. And I'm telling you, the power of stories is very real because for me, my posts on my Instagram, probably let me think here for a second, 1/10 of my Instagram following typically interacts on my post. That's on like a super great day. 1/10. It ranges from like a 20th to a 10th of my following engages on my posts. You want to know how many people watch my stories and respond to my stories? I have 10,000 followers, 4,000 people watch every single day. That's almost half of my following on my stories, and I have a 20th of people paying attention to my posts. So go where your people are. Go where your people are. So for me, stories is where my business comes from, seriously. And again, that's why I told you guys earlier, like the connection side of it is so important. Like that's where people get to connect with you. And so that's why I'm saying like the Triller app is super cool, and that doesn't allow people to connect with you and know who you are, right? So, and the same thing with like the beautiful, I can't even remember. There was one app that everybody was using. I used it probably every freaking day for my stories. It's like this beautiful editing app that has special words and stuff that again doesn't allow people to connect with you. It just makes you feel good about your pretty package that you're putting out there, right? So what I do is whenever I talk about the body shop or whenever I talk about coaching specifically, which I pretty much do almost every day. I don't know. I've been slacking lately, so this is my public accountability that I need to pick it back up. But anytime I talk about the body shop or coaching, I go at like hour 22 of that story just before it expires and scroll through who watched that story about the body shop, and I reach out to them. I literally say, hey, I noticed that you saw my story about the body shop, and I'm wondering if that's something you've ever been interested in. So I talk to people that I know what I'm talking about. Instead of just being like, hey, I have a fitness boot camp. Is that something you'd be interested in? No, I know you saw me talk about it on my stories. So I know that you know what I'm talking about when I message you. Because then there's no such thing as a cold message when you are inviting to the people that you connect with, you know. So I always put those call to actions, but about those like 3 to 5 frames where I'm talking about the body shop or coaching and there's the call to actions and everything, I go through those people that it says watched, and those are the people that I connect with. And that's how I convert them. And I also really like the people that engage with your stories too, that respond to you, always respond back to them. Like even if you have to wait and put it into your power hour, engage with the people that are engaging with you. Don't just open it, read it, and be like, like send them back something. Like even if it's just a quick emoji or like, LOL, thanks girl, whatever. But always like take the second to respond back to the people that are replying to your stories, because those are the people that are connecting with you. And so if they're connecting with you, that is kind of a great funnel for you to be able to bring them into coaching or to the body shop, because stories literally is creating that connection for you instead of you having to message somebody and be like, hey, I like your dog. I still do that crap anyway though. But hey, I like your dog. And they're like, hey, thanks. I like my dog too. cool. Okay, what's next? Like, how are you going to continue to connect with them in order to introduce coaching or whatever? Like, there's no such thing as cold market when you are building through your stories. And if you want more views on your stories, again, like I said, tags. And be really, really good at serving the people that do watch it, though. Instead of being so concentrated on adding more people to it, just be so good at serving through your stories. It will bring more people. It really will. I didn't even realize how much the views on my stories had grown between this time this year and last year until I looked at my highlights. I was editing my highlights and I saw like a post that I'd put 52 weeks ago, and it had like, I think it had like 700 views, and now it's around 44,000 to 4,500 a day. And so, but I know something that I have done is I've been hella consistent, and I have really, really started to be myself and not worry so much about being this beacon of health and fitness. Obviously, those are like important things, but there's a crap ton of fitness people on Instagram. What sets you apart? What makes you unique? And again, a crap ton of coaches. And so what makes you unique? For me, I twerk. Literally, that is a part of my brand. It just kind of happened. It's something that I never thought the world would know about, but it has just naturally occurred, and we're rolling with it right now. So that is like literally a part of my brand. Is that, and it's just this weird thing. Just this weird thing that I like to do, and people like to watch it. So it just kind of happened, but through allowing myself to just kind of like put it out there and see how people react. So again, the goofy, silly, fun person that I know that you are, especially around your friends, or if you've like had a couple drinks or whatever, you know, like that, like share that person. Don't be shy. Everybody's a weirdo. And if you share that you're a weirdo, you are going to set yourself apart from all the people that pretend that they're not weirdos. Nobody relates to perfect. They don't. So don't worry about it. Okay. Anything else?
Okay, I have one quick question too. So like when you make a post on your wall, feed, whatever you call it, do you post it in your stories? Like, hey, check out my post that I did earlier.
I do always share it to my stories. Yeah, okay. I always share it to my stories because, again, I get way more traffic on my stories.
Right.
And if I can direct you to go to my page instead of just only being on my stories, yes. And that's why, like, anytime I put an Instagram TV or put out a new post, I always share it to my newsfeed. Okay. And then I do the same thing, though, in my newsfeed post is I put, like, I don't know if you saw my stories today, but X, Y, and Z happened. What are your thoughts on it? Like, right. A couple weeks ago, I had a really weird thing happen to me at the airport. It was seriously the strangest experience of my life. And I talked about it on my stories. And then I had put in my post that day, like, okay, you guys, I just had the weirdest experience ever happen to me in the Seattle airport. Have you had any, like, go watch and tell me what you would do. Or have you had something weird happen to you? Like, just, it's literally nothing to do with Beachbody, but right. It's engagement. And again, engagement will win over everything.
What have you heard about people who, sometimes you look at people's posts and you're like, oh my gosh, you wrote a novel, like, and you're down, like, what do you recommend on a post?
So again, I'm a mad scientist, you guys. I have no methods. I just throw shit out there and see what sticks. Like, I do not have a proven, like, set system. But for me, I try to keep it to 3 paragraphs max. And just like for me, if I'm sitting here thinking about it, I know I probably wouldn't read more than 3 paragraphs unless it's like really riveting and like on the edge of my seat, need to read it. So what I do is I just like word vomit into, again, a notes app. I just get all my thoughts out in the notes app, and then I kind of like bullet point it and organize it. And what's my like key thing that I'm trying to say out of all this? What's the key thing that I'm trying to say? I need to like bring that down to 3 paragraphs. So for me personally, I don't put more than 3 paragraphs. Like when people are like, this is continued in the comments. No, girl. No. I am not going to go click through your comments to continue to read. No. So if you need to continue in the comments, you need to like save that in a highlight, journal it somewhere. I don't know, write a book, an ebook. I don't know what to tell you. But when people say they continue in the comments, I'm out. So you just really have to think about, for you, like, what are the things that you like to see on Instagram? You are your best asset. I cannot tell you enough. What are the things that you like to see on Instagram? Those are things you need to share, because those are the kind of things that your people are going to like. How much would you read? What kind of pictures would you stop to scroll for? What would you want to watch on stories? You are your best asset, because you want to bring in people just like you, not the masses. You want people that are your people. Because if you have to convince people to come in, you're going to have to convince them to work. You're going to have to convince them to care. You're going to have to convince them to show up. You don't want people like that. You want people like you that show up. So what do you like? What are the things that you love or are interested in? And that's what you need to be sharing. For me, I bring on a ton of dog moms, because I am dog mom AF, and it shows. So I bring on a ton of dog moms, because that's just, and it's not like I've ever like specifically been like, I'm looking for dog moms to be on my team. Like, no, it just happens because they're just my people, and that's who follows me, and that's who comes out of the woodworks, you know? So just think about, again, yourself. What do you like? What do you like to stop for your scroll for? What do you like to watch? Like, but be yourself, you know? Anything else? Nada?
Nada.
Okay. So you guys are all going to go just freaking kill it on your Instagram stories? Yes? Okay, cool. One more thing I will say, though, is that, again, with like using music and stuff like that, Instagram wants you to use the features that they provide for you. So when you use the features that they provide for you, you have to think about what that does for your engagement. So using music off the platform versus using music on the platform, using the filters on the platform, like, don't be afraid of using what Instagram has given to you, because they do it for a reason. And they watch everything that you do. So if you are showing that I believe they do. So if you are showing that you are using what Instagram gives you, I think that that's a good thing too.
For sure.
Okay.
You are amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I really hope this was helpful. I hope I didn't just like yell at you guys for an hour.
No, you kind of did. It's fine. It's good. I was like, oh, I do that. I need to stop doing that.
We need a little swift kick in the butt.
Yeah.
As long as you're here for it, as long as we're all together in the end, that's what matters.
Thank you.
I know you're not watching every single one of our stories to be like, that girl used.
No, and that's the thing though, like, is I don't want you to think that I'm here to judge you. And that's why I'm saying, like, disclaimer, if you use any things or do any of these things and they work for you in your business, that is super freaking awesome. Keep killing it. But for me, I can only share what I know and what's worked for me. And using the methods that everybody else uses was not true to me at all. So if you see the current of Beachbody coaches swimming in this direction, no, I will be going this direction always, because you have to set yourself apart. Our products are amazing, and people can get them from anywhere. Shit, they can get them from Beachbody and then just get assigned a coach. You are the magic. Your story, your process, your lifestyle, that's what makes you different from a Beachbody coach. Like, people know that I am Cinthanie first and a Beachbody coach second, you know? And that's the way you want to have it. Okay.
Okay.
We are all so grateful. Am I right, ladies?
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
I hope it was helpful.
Your busy life to talk to us. And I think we all have so much content to put into action, right, ladies? And
Always.
Cynthanie's open to you reaching out to her if something comes up, or you can message me and I can pass it along too. So we super
And don't feel like you're going to figure it out all in one day, that you're going to get like 200 more views on your stories by tomorrow. Like, just know that, like, these are things to just keep in mind, like 3 to 5 posts, this, that, like, just keep those things in mind as you are posting, but know that, like, it's going to take a little bit, and collect your own data and see what works for you and tweak as you go. But just know, like, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Be committed to the process.
For sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Too. And I can't wait to check on everybody's Instagram stories, which are going to be we're going to start putting some of this into place. So
cool.
you all have Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.